Pastore, Rockstar. It's the fake Rockstar Chat Show. Pensieri Tangentiali, formerly known as Tangential Thoughts Chat Show. We work on a podcast every now and again. Sono tu a capo, yo sono Chief Gihareh Julius Caesar Augustus. Alright, so as I've been looking and scrolling and perusing, I keep seeing the word peak. Peak anime, peak movies. Let me finish this poll. So I just want to kind of like talk about, I just want to make it a separate conversation about that. And no. Okay. No. Now I've been watching certain things. You know what I'm saying? I started, I'm an actor, I'm a director. I gotta write my own script. I gotta record my own movies, my own visuals. I have to design my own clothes, model my own clothes, take pictures and videos of me wearing my clothes, put that on the website. Yeah, it's a lot going on. I gotta do a lot. Anyway, not a shameless plug. But I've been saying the word peak. Peak anime, peak movies, peak music. Everything is just kind of sort of, it seems like things have kind of sort of peaked. And so I want to know, well, what was the peak and what was the considered the best. So again, like I started with movies and I was like, I want to watch like what makes this movie a classic, you know what I'm saying? Study movies from that type of perspective, looking at different things like that. And now lately I've been doing animes, like what's the peak anime? Now, and the other below point of conversation is that peak anime, peak movie, peak music. Those are the ones I tag. I'm trying, what was the other low point? All right, hopefully it'll come back to me. I'm not sure. Anyway. Oh. What's that thing called? It's the fact that has technology also peaked in a sense of like, we haven't, the best invention, you know what I'm saying? You got television, you got cell phone, internet. But cell phone and internet are now what? How old are cell phone and internet now? So the best invention, we got a Tesla. People hating on the Tesla for whatever reason. It drives itself. It's an electric car. Don't put small in front of nothing I got going on. I should look at your channel. Big business. That's the mentality you gotta have. Don't put small in front of nothing I got going on. I got a shirt for that. What the hell? I don't know about this catalog. You have continuously y'all out. You have continuously misspelled. That's a very simple word to spell. Apostrophe. Whatchamacallit. Let me see. Channel activity. Go to channel. Oh, there's nothing here. October 14th, 2025? You just made your account? You made your account October 14th, 2025. Who makes a YouTube in 2025? There's no reason you should be talking to me. That sounds very spammy. That sounds very catfishy. Who have you like? Yeah, I just made a YouTube 2025. Like October 14th is this week. YouTube account this week. Yeah. Those type of things. You just made that YouTube account a couple days ago and it's blocked already on this channel. Let me see this one. I don't even know what your question refers to, so I'm gonna just block that. Now let me look at this, cause you seem slow to go to channel. I don't want to say that, right? It's a kid, but I gotta block you just cause I don't think kids should be watching. I gotta block you. Your parents aren't gonna do it. Parents not gonna stop you from watching it. All right. Leave the channel. Watch something else. Damn, we got a gift? Oh, we got another gift? Oh, we gotta do a freestyle now. Okay, we gotta do another freestyle. Okay, that's another one. Thank you. Grazie. That's how you say thank you in Italian. In Italian. Grazie mille. Let's do this freestyle, guys. Let's do this freestyle. Let's get into it. Tokuso. It may be Japanese. Whenever your girl talk to you, she shouldn't be talking to you. Make sure she stay on her knees. And then, if she ever asks you for something, make sure she say please. I mean, if they want to come into your business, make sure they pay a fee. All right. And again, you might want to get you an Asian. Again and again. You might want to get you an Asian. You might want to be Japanese. There's no reason for her to talk. Make sure she stay on her knees. If she ever asks you for something, make sure she say please. And make sure before they walk in the door, they gotta charge some fees. All right, we had to do. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say you're welcome in Italian. Thank you for the gifts. Okay, now, peak anime, peak movies. Oh, the conversation was. Have we also seen are we seeing like a peak of inventions and whatnot, you know? Even like the next big thing to be invented is going to be like the metaverse, but that's a side to internet, you know, and computers, technology. So far, of certain stuff, we don't know when that's coming. That's one thing. And from here, we also will say, what else? Peak. Oh, if technology has peaked, the television is, I don't know, however many years old. Internet is going to be over 30 years old. Cell phones are going to be right over 30 years old. So what's been a bigger, better invention since the cell phone? Since internet. So now the other part of it is that with technology apparently kind of assumingly getting better, why hasn't movies, shows, and everything got better? Why has if our technology is getting better, like, you know, back then they had cameras and things, and the camera quality is better. Why don't we have better movies, actors, actresses, screenwriting, plays, any of that, right? Why don't we have better if we have better technology, right? So that's another thing. So one of my things is to study and look for, well, what were the peak of this or that? I think one conversation that said Transformers was like peak CGI. It's not getting any type of better. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, let me see. Lately, I've been doing anime shows. I kind of was watching movies, and I was in a certain track for movies. So I watch, again, you might watch Godfather, Scarface, Casino, American Gangster, Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? Those are like of a certain, like, those are classics. So I was trying to study those. Why are these classics? Now again, those movies are like 3 hours long. But a movie that's coming out now to be 3 hours long, that's not, you're not even really kind of sort of getting that. Freddy Krueger's also a classic. You know, I just watched that too recently. But the one, and then with music, you see a lot of music being sampled from 90s, early 2000s. So if you want to find like peak music might be around 90s, 2000s. It just seems like, and that's where they, every once in a while we see some samples come back a little bit further, but for the most part, 90s, 2000s is generally just going to be peak music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking like the last of the classics type of thing. Like these are things that just get sampled and it's just like these are timeless beats for some reason. For whatever it is, music around that time, 90s, early 2000, has more ageless, timeless, classic appeal to it. So there's that. Now, we got another gift. We gotta do a freestyle. Let me see. 11:11 as I'm saying this. 11:11. There's a gas station called 7-Eleven. Of course, we know everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to go to, and hell is empty and all the devils are here. Now, what if that's a actual fear? And why we gotta pass away just to, why can't we have that on earth? It's like a hypocrisy. But that's just a little freestyle. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say you're welcome in Italian. Grazie. Grazie mille. All right. So, movies, music, it seems peak music is around 90s, 2000s. Now, with anime, certain names are going to come up as far as peak. Now, for right now, for me, and this is my opinion, opinions are like, and everybody has one, but for me, Attack on Titan and Avatar The Last Airbender are up there. They're just up there. It's, whatchamacallit is not to be kind of sort of ranked because it's such a staple and it's such a mark. It's like, it doesn't even it doesn't need to be in a ranking. It's just like, you don't even talk about certain stuff without mentioning. So it's like Dragon Ball Z. Now, some people might not consider Pokemon whatchamacallit, but as far as greatness and greatness being impact, Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon have infiltrated culture in such a way that even if people don't watch the shows, they know Pikachu, they know Dragonite, they know Charizard, they know Goku, they know Vegeta. Like, even if they don't watch the show, they still know. Like, so Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z have infiltrated culture in such a way that they just have a different type of greatness, and so like they are like staples type of junk. So I'm not even like considering them to be like ranked. Attack on Titan and Avatar: The Last Airbender are of a later whatchamacallit. So, but those are like, for me, those are like peak, right? Now, and those are the ones that I kind of sort of like will judge other things off of. However, all of those that I just mentioned is one of those reasons that Bebop is kind of hard to judge against those. Now, there are small little few elements here and there, but for the most part, Bebop has a realistic sense to it. And like, you're not going Super Saiyan 4. You're not catching a Pokemon. You're not bending the elements in the earth. You're not, let me see, you're not eating and gaining superpowers in the sense of like Attack on Titan. So those type of things, right? So Bebop had this realistic sense to it, but it had this mundaneness to it. It had and redundancy to, but that's life. So there's something that becomes something like you kind of sort of appreciate, right? Again, I think one of the lures behind Bebop is that it was scrapped, and maybe because, you know, like Bebop, it starts to mention certain ideas and concepts, and where can you ever really talk about certain ideas, knowledge, concepts like chi, with energy, or and then those type of things. And like, there's a couple sessions from Bebop that really age well, because Bebop, again, is 98, 99. So when you see them talking about Faye, and Faye was vlogging, but vlogging and streamers are something, you know what I'm saying, now. Again, this came out in 98, 99, and I don't think YouTube was even invented until like 2003, 4, or 5, somewhere around there. So these are those, like, that's a session that ages well, in the way that she was like, she's recording an airplane going through a sky, and she was recording like her friends at the time, and this and the third, and she was like putting these little things, and she's like, good morning, me. How are you today? And things like that. So like, her vlogging, like, that's a session that has aged well. And the last session I watched was like session 23, and it had like this VR headset. And but you see, now we have like the Oculus and all the tech companies coming up with the, you know, the Google glasses or whatever, the Meta Ray-Bans. Like, so that's another session that has aged well. And again, that came out in the 90s, 98, 99. So peak anime, right? And them doing certain things, like with the newness and the novelty of it, and taking so many things into account. And the reason I say that is, again, like, for them to animate certain things, if you study animation, you know, like, with the layers and just the movements and the shadowing and all of that, them doing certain things, and for them, it's like, man, we really gotta like hone in on this. So now my biggest issue with Bebop, and there I actually saw a video that talked about how it liked it, and this is why I say everybody has their own opinion. But Bebop, there's still a term I'm looking for this, but it comes down to storytelling. And so with the storytelling, it is for me, it's the connectivity of like, okay, why is this happening? Why is that happening? And so with the storytelling, it is sometimes, for me, it's like this forced plot movement. It's like, well, why is this happening? Well, this has to happen so that the plot moves forward. Like, you know that something of this essence has to happen, and they just inserted like this, whatchamacallit. And there's not a lot of connectivity outside. Now, again, I didn't watch the last 3 sessions because I see how people talk about Cowboy Bebop, and they miss it. So I just like to be able to say, like, I could still watch 3 more sessions, you know? So outside of 12 and 13, there's no connectivity within the show, and like what drives it, and motivation and plot. Now, that small concept right there is almost kind of sort of fixed in Samurai Champloo. So this is just some of the reasons that Samurai Champloo is, in a sense, better than Bebop. If there's a motivation and a plot and a connectivity, first of all, the episodes are connected. You know, like, it's okay, there's this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and like session no, not session. Not the fact that I'm calling these episode sessions, and it's not even Bebop no more. But Bebop and Champloo are of the same creative company. So in episode 11 was a no. Episode 11 was a was it 11? No, episode 11 was really good, but episode 12 was a filler episode, and it kind of just recapped all the first 11 episodes though. And so, and it was literally Fu just saying she's in her journal and she's telling you about each of the days from her perspective, kind of, sort of, you know what I'm saying? So there's more connectivity in the episodes. In Bebop, the sessions are just, outside of 12 and 13, you can just sit here and just watch a session, and you'll kind of understand the essence of, like, all of the rest of them are kind of pretty much the same, you know? And so Champloo fixes that. That's one. The other is, it's small, but they're looking for the samurai who smells sunflowers. So they're looking for the samurai who smells sunflowers. That's just what they're looking for, and it's just driving the plot or whatever. There are a couple At this point, it's happened once within the first 12 episodes. No, we're on episode 13 now. Yeah. Within the first 12 episodes, there was one time where it was like, this is a part 1, this is a part 2. Now, episode 13 and 14 is a part 1, part 2. So I have to say that Shampoo is better. I have to say that Shampoo is better. It even like the aesthetics, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It is beautiful. So what I like, but these are years difference in past. Bebop though, it's to very much be appreciated. I told you how some of the episodes age well, and then like it's just a difference in conversation. But Shampoo is going to be better, and there is still more realistic concepts. But this one's Bebop is set in the future. Samurai Champloo is set in the past. So distant future, distant past. But so as of right now, I would put Shampoo over Bebop. Is it going to be, am I going to say it's better than Avatar The Last Airbender or Attack on Titan? I'm not willing to go there yet. Because those two, I'm not going to say mastered, but if I had to say just for lack of a better word, but those two have the storytelling down packed and character arc, character progression, all of that. We're on episode 14 for Shampoo. However, this is why, okay, in Goodfellas, the movie, it starts off with the boy, you see him as a boy, as a teenager. You see him as a teenager, and where he sets his motivation and of what he wants to do and going forward, you know. Dragon Ball Z, there's Kid Goku. Like, you can see in Dragon Ball Z, that's why it's like, this is why I say that those are just an entire universe and like just different. Dragon Ball Z, the kid, you see that you watch them as Kid Goku, and then they grow up and have families, and then their kids grow up, like, and then their kids have kids, like, that's what I'm saying, like, that's a whole whatchamacallit, you see what I'm saying? From there, it would be, what am I trying to say? From there, it's, oh, the reason I'm saying this is because Bebop, there's no character progression. There's no character arc for anybody. Samurai Champloo, and like, so you know, like, it doesn't need to happen fast though, either, right? It doesn't need to happen fast either. But in Champloo, Mugen and Jean have been steady as in who they are. Red and blue, almost like Vegeta and Goku, you know? They've been kind of steady for who they are. Fu is the one, she seems like this auxiliary type of character, but she's the one that takes on, where you might see her, like, again, the whole thing with the gambling, and she kind of just went into that, and her driving like them to keep them in. She gets kidnapped a lot. She's got a couple times. So Fu is the one that has like some variety to her character. Mugen and Jean are kind of like set in there, whatchamacallit. And so like, but for right now, it's kind of sort of okay. Um, Things to look at though. I'm really interested in seeing episode 14. I really like me as a viewer. I would like that girl. She actually said she likes Mugen. You know, it's been hinted at twice in 2 different episodes that Fu likes Jean, and her and Mugen just be having like this little whatchamacallit. So I don't know. I would like to see that girl like come along with them. She wants to run away. She wants to be with Mugen. She actually literally said this, and Mugen's like, "I'm not that kind of guy." Yo, so I'm like, yo, come on, bro. And he got history with her. You know, not history, but like they grew up together, so he know her. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be. They grew up in a bad type of setting, so they're gonna. She like that's your Harley Quinn type of Joan. Like she gonna be good. She gonna be good. So yeah, I'm putting Shampoo over Bebop. I'm putting Shampoo over Bebop. It's beautifully animated. It had this storytelling. It has this plot. It did like, but the storytelling still hasn't gotten to like of the essence of where Attack on Titan and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the reason I'm saying those two is because they do it way more cleaner and smoother just throughout. Now again, they had the opportunity and chance of coming later, but that was like that was a gripe that was sitting there watching. So like episode 13, I didn't have this gripe. And episode 11, I didn't have this gripe. But in a couple of them, I was like, this is like, it was just like, this is happening because we need this to happen, or this has to happen. And it was random that this insertion of this scene or this person, this character is starting something. Like, those were the ones I'm like, yo, why move this way? So, but those are that peak movie. No, I'm not sure when it comes down to peak movie. Again, like I told you, I was watching Scarface, Godfather, American Gangster, Casino, and Goodfellas. So that's the whatchamacallit. Outside of that, what do you like? Do you say The Notebook is a classic, or and then like if you got Black Comedy Friday, Love Jones, what's that other joint? Jason's Lyric. I haven't. I actually don't think I've ever sit down. Like I started it, but I don't think I ever finished it. How to whatever that one that's supposed to be based off of Steve Harvey book. That book. Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? But classic movies, peak movies. When was the peak? What represents the peak of movies? You know what I'm saying? Now television shows. I'm throwing you got it though. Dark Mirror up there. Is it Dark Mirror? I forget what the thing called. It's on Netflix. Black Mirror, it might be called Black Mirror. I don't know what the hell. Anything else? I'm saying that, but there is a show called Dark on Netflix. That was alright. It was, like with the complexity of certain things, and like you just being able to follow along with the plot and what you want to call it. So this is why Attack on Titan is such like it gets. This is why I said with the art of storytelling and certain stuff, the plot thickens. It gets deep, and it's like they'll probably get a point where you're like, I don't understand what's going on and why this is happening, what's going on here. Like Dark on Netflix was like that. It was like I was able to keep track. But there were so many subplots along with the main plot and characters to keep along with. It was a lot. But that was decent. That was a decent little John to watch. I also like Nurse Ratched. It's not called Nurse Ratched. It's called Ratched. Ratchet was pretty good. Ratchet, I liked it as a series. That's on Netflix. Ratchet, she's a nurse. That was pretty good. People talk about Breaking Bad. I don't think I've ever watched. I think I tried, but I don't think I ever like continued or tried to really watch that. Ozarks was good. Ozarks was good. I don't think I finished like officially the entire thing. But the thing about Ozarks was the fact that Ozarks was, if you wanted to know what that was about, it's Marty telling people what to do, having a plan, them not doing it, them messing up, and then Marty had to fix their mistakes. That is Ozarks. Ozarks is literally everybody else making mistakes. Not Marty, everybody else. Everybody else makes mistakes. Marty has to fix and clean up their mistakes. Everybody. That is Ozarks. That is the gist of Ozarks. Anything else? What else is pretty good? Oh, Belly was terrible. The people like the aesthetics, but the movie was terrible. Some other like good movies, bro. We watched Freddy, 1984. And you know, again, some of these movies come out 80s, 90s. So, peak. We're gonna continue this discussion and journey. But when it comes to music, I'm saying 90s, early 2000s is gonna be like the peak. It's like classic too, like classic songs, like timeless. 90s, early 2000s. Movies, you see, heard the movies I've decided to kind of sort of mention. Anime, cartoons, TV show. I say animes, but if I gotta go to cartoons, if I have to go to cartoons, is anime peak cartoon? No. I remember some other cartoons. Gaming is also becoming peak. Oh, and then it was like the other little kind of thing I was just mentioning, like best store is Walmart. There's not a better store. You see what I'm saying? Walmart sells everything. It's either there's still maybe some 24/7 Walmarts that never close, and then automotive, you get your car fixed, you can get gas, you can get whatever you need at Walmart. Walmart's like so peak shopping experience. Go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Best stores. So like that's how you can kind of sort of see like a monopoly on certain things. Peak gaming. NFL Streets, NBA Streets. You ain't getting that bad. Call of Duty kind of like locked up the military, Jane. Halo, Gears of War tried to sneak its head in there. Anything else? I'm trying to say like peak, whatever. No, I'm rocking my Metroid. So, all right. Things that I need to charge my phone. It's at 15%. So this is what I'm actually gonna try to do. I'm actually gonna try to play Metroid with my phone on 15%. I'm gonna see if I can beat the boss. Let's see if we can do that with this.